Like, comment, and subscribe for more content.
Let's go!
What is going on, guys? How are you guys doing? Me, I am doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. So today's video is a follow-up video to my last one, right? My last video was it was my very first build your own roster, and it was for a potential Marvel vs. Capcom 4, right? The excitement for Marvel vs. Capcom is through the roof right now. The Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection is right around the corner. People have played it, and basically we're all kind of speculating that Capcom, they're in the kitchen and they're cooking up a Marvel 4 right now. That is the main speculation. That's what everyone is assuming. So everyone's going around and making their own, potential Marvel 4 rosters. And, my last video, you guys seem to like that a lot. I got a lot of good feedback, including some gems. I have a couple saved right here, including not enough X-Men characters, or Marvel side was decent, but the Capcom roster was cheeks, bro, for real. And then last but not least, this list needs more thick ladies. Man, get that weak shit out of here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry you guys had to hear that. But no, this is good. This is good feedback, because I do agree with some of that, right? Especially the X-Men character thing, and the we need more ladies, So what I want to do before I talk about my DLC characters, because that's what this list is, I want to really quick go back to my my base roster. I want to trade out Captain Marvel for Rogue, right? And initially I didn't want to do this, right? It just seemed, like we were bullying Captain Marvel, because, she does belong here. But also, I'd much rather have Rogue. And this is my list. I've made some sacrifices on my list already. You got to put your fan favorites. You got to put the characters that you like as well. I'm going to make an executive decision. Unfortunately, I'm going to take off Captain Marvel and I'm going to put Rogue there. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is going to become apparent very soon. But before I get into my DLC list, do me a favor, leave a like, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. I would appreciate it. Without any further ado, let's get to it. So the first thing I want to say is that this is a modern day Capcom game. We're talking about, a potential Marvel vs. Capcom 4. So there's going to be DLC. That's just how it is. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. And I'm going to assume, just because it's a fighting game, they're going to have seasons, right? So like I said, I'm shooting from the hip right here, but I'm going to assume each season, well, the way I'm doing it at least, each Marvel character is paired up with a Capcom character, right? And it's going to be like released in like a pack, So the first pack in season 1 is legacy characters, right? So let me start by just saying this. You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here. Gambit is my first character. Gambit is my first character. That's why I put Rogue in there. That's why I put Rogue on there instead of Captain Marvel. So I can put Gambit in there later. That's why. Because Gambit is actually my favorite X-Men character, right? On my previous video, people were leaving comments. They're like, dude, for real, no Gambit? I know. That's because he's DLC. You know for a fact that Marvel and Capcom would have Gambit as DLC. I hate to say it, but it's true, Like I said, he's my favorite X-Men character. I didn't put him on my base roster because it just didn't seem right. And like I said, you got to make sacrifices when you make these Marvel vs. Capcom 4 rosters. A lot of people don't like to do that. They like to put their random ass characters on there, like Psylocke. Dude, who cares about Psylocke, man? Let me tell you something, dude. I actually read comics. Psylocke has not been relevant in so long, dude. In so long. Right, with that being said, the second character that I'm coupling together with Gambit for the first DLC pack is Captain Commando, right? Because Captain Commando, like Gambit, he is a legacy character to these Marvel vs. Capcom games now. Also, in Marvel vs. Capcom 1, this was actually my team. Gambit and Captain Commando. So, this is total just fan service for me in particular. But you know what? Anything can happen. Capcom is on a roll right now. So, our next DLC pack for Season 1, it's a pack of badass ladies, right? We want some powerful ladies. Like that previous comment, we need more thick ladies. And you know what? I'm going to give you guys a bone. I'm gonna give you guys a bone. I'm gonna throw you guys a bone. Okay. The next character, right? The first character in our badass ladies is an X-Men character. Okay. She's a badass lady. She's an X-Men character. She has a sword, right? I think we all know who I'm talking about. Oh yeah, it's Magic. It's Magic. Magic is the first character of DLC Pack 2. I like Magic. I don't know what it is. I don't know, man. She's really interesting to me. And it's not just the booty shorts. I don't know what it is. She's just really interesting. Marvel doesn't make characters like her anymore, where it's just, she's like, she's a mutant, but she's also like the lord of this like alternate dimension. She has like a magic sword, and she's a sorceress. All this crazy stuff, If you played Marvel Rivals, she's really popular in that game, right? Really cool character. I feel like Marvel Rivals was a lot of people's first introduction to Magic, right? And then, well, she was already a fan favorite before. But now people are on board this, like, we got to start putting her in everything. Movement, So, paired up with Magic, I have another badass female. It's Marissa from Street Fighter 6. Woo! Baby. We all love Marissa, right? She's this huge, powerful Italian muscle mommy, right? And she dresses like a gladiator, and that's her whole thing, right? But she loves the Coliseum and gladiators, and she has a pet lion, and just, come on, man. We have a lot of Street Fighter waifus in the game already. On my base roster, I put Chun-Li and Juri. I feel like Marissa she would occupy a very unique part of the roster. Let me just say that, right? So the last two characters of Season 1, right? My last DLC pack. And this one just makes sense. The first character is Blade, and then the second character is Dimitri from Darkstalkers. Just sit on that for a minute. What more do I need to say? Right? Blade versus Dimitri. Come on, man. Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill. By the way, I love me some Blade. Right? The Blade movies, some of my favorite. The first one is the best one easily, but I have seen all of them. And then, Dimitri. Like, it's weird that he has not been in a Marvel vs. Capcom game yet, seeing as he's the quote-unquote protagonist of the Darkstalkers games. I don't feel like he is, but he is, Anyway, moving on to Season 2. So, Season 2, the first pack of Season 2, it's like super-powered legal defense, right? And I say that immediately, you already know who's in this list, right? Immediately, the first character is Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright is my character from the Capcom side, and then Daredevil is my character from the Marvel side, right? Just like Blade, just like the Punisher in my base roster, it is very surprising that Daredevil has not been in a Marvel vs. Capcom game yet, right? Like, what is the deal? I don't even want him here. I mean, I do. I do like Daredevil, but like, I don't need Daredevil right now. If he's not on this list, like, I'd be totally fine. But I feel like he does belong here, So Daredevil and Phoenix Wright. The next pack. This one is an Asian themed pack, right? A lot of Japanese inspiration here. The first character is Psylocke. Yeah, the first character is Psylocke. Yeah. Dude, I don't know. What do you want me to say, man? I like butts. I'm sorry. Anyway, moving on from Psylocke, the next character is So from Path of the Goddess, right? This is a newer character. Path of the Goddess came out maybe 2 months ago, maybe if that. Let's go with a month and a half. And basically, Path of the Goddess, it's this little known Capcom game. No one expected it to be good, but like, people absolutely love it, right? It's a really fun game. And in Path of the Goddess, you play as So, and he's like this super powered samurai that's defending this like goddess who bestows like yokai killing powers on him, right? And basically, So, he dances around the battlefield with his katana, and he's basically just murdering yokai, right, in waves. Super fun game, super cool character. I feel like you gotta represent current day Capcom as well. So that's why I threw So in there. After So, the next two characters, and the last two characters of Season 2, excuse me. I got too many characters on this DLC roster. But you would assume that, you know, a present day Marvel vs. Capcom game, Capcom would want to, you know, keep it going for a while. So this list of DLC characters, this is just covering the lifetime of a Marvel vs. Capcom 4. That's why I have so many DLC characters. The next two characters are Adam Warlock and Amaterasu, right? Amaterasu, she was in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Come on. Like, why wasn't she in Marvel Infinite? You know, there's no reason why they didn't bring her back. I just assumed they just couldn't make her look good, so they just left her out of the game. A lot of things about Marvel Infinite don't look good. Most of it doesn't look good. We're beating a dead horse at this point. Adam Warlock is this universally powerful character. I had to pick between him and the Silver Surfer, and I'm still not 100% on Adam Warlock right now. Let me know what you guys think. Either or, Adam Warlock or Silver Surfer. I'm not partial to either. I think both of them are cool. Now we're on the final row, right? The final season of DLC characters. The first pack is a treasure hunter pack. Okay? And I say that and I promise you don't know where this is going. You think you do, but you do not. The Marvel character on this pack, or in this pack, excuse me, is Moon Knight, right? Moon Knight, crazy character, right? I absolutely love Moon Knight. He's incredibly popular. My only thing is that he's very similar to, you know, characters like Blade, characters like Daredevil. He's a street level Marvel hero, right? But like Moon Knight's stories, they take him all over the place, right? I actually read comics. So if you read comics like me, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Moon Knight's stories are insane, you know? And basically, he was a mercenary revived by the moon god, right? Or is he? We don't know because he's crazy. He is. They confirm it. But, you know, that's interesting. So I'm going to pair him up with Ruby Hart, right? Ruby Hart is another classic Marvel vs. Capcom character. She's actually the protagonist of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, right? The story of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is a very old-fashioned sentence. A lot of people don't know there's a story to that game. But basically, Ruby Hart is on a treasure hunt, basically. She's this pirate lady, and she's cool, and we all love her. She deserves to come back, right? I also think they should put her in a Darkstalkers game if they ever make another one, right? She just seems like she would belong in those games as well. But anyway, enough about Ruby Hart. We're moving on to the next two characters. So I want to get weird with this one. The next character on the Marvel side is The Thing. The Thing. Right? We needed a Fantastic Four representation in there. Like I said, I could have put the Silver Surfer up there instead of Adam Warlock. I'm still partial to that. I don't care. But The Thing, I feel like he's kind of like the face of the Fantastic Four in a way. Right? He's a big, strong rock dude. He's a rock boy. You know? I wanted to put the Human Torch, but that felt kind of extra. You know? Because I already have Pyron on my base roster. And you know me, dude, I'm a pyromaniac. I love me some fire dudes. But at a certain point, you got to think about this on a game design level. Right? Would they want to do that? I don't think they would. But the character that I have teamed up the Thing with is a Mingo. Right? A Mingo is just like Ruby Hart, I believe they were making him for a Darkstalkers game, and he just never made it in. A Mingo is a living fighting cactus. Living fighting cactus. We love a Mingo in this house, dude. He's also in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And, dude, man. A Mingo. We need to bring back a Mingo, dude. Every once in a while on Twitter, I'll scroll down my timeline and I'll see someone just speaking the gospel of a Mingo. It's time for him to come back. So my last two characters in Season 3 and the DLC in general, the last two, I saved the two best for last, on the Capcom side, it's Albert Wesker, right? The main villain of the Resident Evil series. This was a tough one for me because I wanted to put Jack Baker, but I feel like for the finale character, you gotta put a big name in there, you know? And as much as I like Jack, if there was a season 4, that's where he's going. But Albert Wesker is the final character on the Capcom side. Just like so many other characters on my roster, he was in Marvel 3, and then he just did not return for Marvel Infinite, right? Which is a shame, because Wesker is an amazing villain. Like, he should be everywhere, you know? A lot of the promotional material for Marvel 3 had Wesker and Doom, and it was, man. Do I get goosebumps thinking about that, man? Awesome. And then, with Wesker, the final Marvel character, right? All my comic book fans, where you guys at? It's Null, the symbiote god, right? So, man. Where do I start, dude? Where do I start? Null is basically where all the Venom symbiotes come from, right? That they're a race of aliens created before the universe, and that they all spawn from this, like, cosmic horror god that existed before the universe. And his name is Null, right? And a couple years ago, 2020 to 2022, that was like the Null time period. Everyone was talking about Null. He's this huge, powerful character. Everyone loves this guy. Incredible, right? And I know all my Marvel vs. Capcom people, we're all stuck in the 90s. I'm a Marvel vs. Capcom fan too, guys. I get it, right? This was going to be Apocalypse, but, you know, you got to think about how Marvel does things, right? They want to promote their current comics. And I do say comics and not the movies, because Null is not a movie character at all. This dude is a deep comic book character, you know? And when you're making a Marvel vs. Capcom roster, these are the things you have to, you know, to consider. Because, you know, dude, read a story with Null in it. You're welcome. Anyway, guys, that is my DLC roster. Dude, I've been recording for 30 minutes. How is this possible? You guys won't know that because I'm going to edit this video. But that just goes to show you that, you know, making a Marvel roster is, it's a lot of work. What do you guys think about my DLC characters? Let me know in the comment section below. What characters would you guys pick for DLC? I am curious. Genuinely. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!